there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Hey guys, welcome back once again to Niagara Fire Corals. Today, we're going to be unboxing an Energy Bar 8 by Neptune. And I'm going to take you guys through the basic setup of one of these. I'll walk you through the process on the computer here. As you can see, I've upgraded. I have a 43-inch monitor now. It's very, very large. Helps me be able to see it a little bit better. With the ongoing issue with my eyes, I am now legally blind. So I do struggle with that. But we're going to get into this, guys. We'll get this installed and we'll get into the setup. Stick around.
Go, 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 yo, go, go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go, go.
Alright guys, so first off, I thought I would just take you guys through what you get in the box when you buy one of these Energy Bar 8s. This one hasn't even been opened yet, so we'll just open it up here. We'll take a quick look inside. As you can see, there's the Energy Bar. And you do receive the USB cable for communication between the head unit and the Energy Bar. And of course, you receive some mounting hardware to mount it up. And as usual, the Neptune stickers that you receive with all their products when you buy them. That's what you get in the box, guys. Nothing spectacular, but I just wanted to show you what comes in the box and how they're packaged. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get this mounted in place. I'm going to remove the bar that this is replacing. That is why I'm doing this video. One of my Energy Bar 8s that I have now, it's actually the older style EB8, has finally stopped working, so we're replacing it. So I'm going to remove that one. I'm going to get this one set up, and I will show you how I'll go about setting this up, a quick and easy way that anybody can do, and save you a lot of time. Okay guys, so I brought you in here. We're going to look at the Apex now, and I'm going to show you how we're going to go ahead and set this up, and how I'm going to replace the existing bar with the one that we just put in there. So just bear with me, guys. I'm just going to make sure that my screen share is working. It appears to be, so that's good. All right. So the first thing I want to start out by showing you right here, starting at this Night Crew 100, from there down to here where it says return to, that is the current power bar. Our EB8 is what it was called. That's the one that has stopped working. Even though it shows here as though it is working, it is not. I can assure you that it wouldn't even power up any longer. So it had been fritzing out and causing me some issues for the last few months. It would say that it was disconnected. I could not, no matter how hard I tried, get that bar to reconnect, so I'd have to delete it and then more or less reinstall the bar, which would cause me to have to reprogram the entire bar again. And then finally it wouldn't even power on any longer. So that's the reason we've bought this new one. These are the outlets that we're going to be changing, and I'll just scroll up to the top here, and as you can see, it's saying here that I have new tiles, and the reason that it says I have new tiles is because I have plugged in that new Energy Bar 8 that I just unboxed for you guys, and here's all the outlets for it. So what I'm going to do is I normally just will pull them down, and I'll just place them at the very top of my existing programming, and there's a reason I do that, and I'll show you guys why afterwards. But we're going to get them all down. I'm not going to use the links I'll bring down the amps and watts and all that stuff. I'll bring that down afterwards. Okay, so that's it for that. We'll close that back up. So as you can see, these are my outlets for that energy bar. You can see that it's the energy bar is going to be 6, and then the second number that you see here, the 8, the 7, the 6, the 5, that is the actual outlet that it's referring to. In case you guys weren't aware what those numbers meant, that's what it means. So I believe this bar was energy bar and it was 3. We just go in and we can confirm that by looking here. It does say that this particular outlet I'm looking at is for energy bar 3 and it's outlet number 6. So there's a few ways that you can go about doing this. Now that my eyes have gotten really bad, I'm trying to simplify things as much as possible for myself. So when I show you guys stuff now, it's probably going to be what I think is the simplest way of doing things. So again, this is outlet 6. I just went back to double check. So we're going to go to the new energy bar that we just put. We're going to find outlet 6, which right now kind of defaults that it's a pump. We're going to go into this outlet, and I'm just going to rename the outlet. You know what? I'm going to leave the 6. Or you know what? I'll just leave the 6. How about that? Just so then later on we'll know what outlet it is, and we can just put it right in there, because I don't always put them in order. So at the end there, we know it's a 6. We can go down here. You can choose any different, whether it's a light or it's a moon phase. You can choose whatever you want. Because it's a light for me, I'm just going to choose light A. And now right here, you could go into, and I'm going to show you why I'm not going to do this, but I'm just going to kind of run you through this so you can see. I clicked on light, you can see there. And when you go down the bottom, look how simple the setup is here, guys. You can make it so it falls back on or off. So if you had a power failure, it would automatically, or not a power failure, but a connection failure, it would automatically fall back to these positions. So, but regardless of that, it's as simple as what time do you want your light to come on? You set it here. What time do you want your light to go off? You set it here. The hysteresis, that's okay. It's set at 1, like that's 1 degree. And you can choose for here, you would choose a probe. So you could choose a temp probe. And what this is asking for, I'm not going to do this because I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this differently, but this is how you would do it to set it up. You would choose your temp probe for this particular setup. And my tank normally runs at about 77 degrees. So I could set this as temp probe and 77 degrees and with a hysteresis of 1. And then what would happen is if the tank was to rise, to above 78 degrees, it would start shutting this light off to try and cool the tank down. However, I'm not going to be doing that. So for now, I'll program it. So more or less what I did there, guys, is I just wanted to get the name in there. So I'm going to go back to that first outlet that we were looking at, the Night Crew 100. And then you can see here, this particular light, because they have their own programming, I don't need to set programming in my Apex for it. So it's set to always and on. So this one's very simple for me to program. So we'll go back to this Night Crew. We have it set to always. We have it set to on. So we're good. Okay. So then what I do then is I'll come down. I'll shut that one off. Now I know I've taken care of that one. So the Night Crew 150 is going to be exactly the same. So this is socket 7. So we're going to go back. We're going to find socket 7, which is this one. We're going to leave the 7 there. We'll delete the rest, and then we'll paste it back in. Okay, so we got the night crew 150, and then it's socket 7. I mean, I guess I could put a dash in there so I know. You know what, guys? I'm not even going to put these in here. Forget it. I don't need to, so I'm not going to. I'm going to set this to always as well. And I'm going to set this to light A as well. And then we want it to be set always on. Again, because they have their own programming. And there we go. I'm going to shut this one down. I'll take you guys through all of these because some of them, they do have a little bit of a different setup in them. So I wanted to show that to you guys. I do want to go in here though, and I want to delete this 6 out of here. Again, I don't need that there. You can always get what socket it is right here. So I was kind of more doing that for the purpose of the video, but I don't think it's beneficial to you guys at all. So I'm not going to bother. So that's how you would set sockets that are set as always on. So now what I want to do is I'm going to do my skimmer. And the reason I want to do the skimmer, oops, I went into the wrong one. The reason I want to do my skimmer, I guess I can't do the skimmer, it's not on here. However, I can do this return pump. Now, this return pump, I don't have it set to always. I have it as an advanced. And you can see I have a line of code in here. If output return equals off, then off. We're going to just copy and paste this over to the other new power bar. But I'll explain why I have that code in there. For any of you guys that are wondering, you guys can use that line of code for, there's so many things that I use that line of code for. So I'm going to copy this, the name of this socket. We know it's 8. So I'll go back over here. Here's number 8. I'm going to put it in here. And I'll paste it. And I will make this a spigot. Sorry guys, if you see me leaning forward all the time, again, it's my eyes. I have to lean in. Even though it's a 43-inch screen, I still have a very hard time reading things on it. So I just want you guys to know why I'm always leaning in like this, in case you're wondering. So we're going to leave it like that. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to the other socket, which is this return. And I'm just going to simply copy all this code. And I'll explain to you why I'm doing it the way I am. It'll make sense in a minute. So we're going to go up here to advanced. And then you can see there's some code in here. We'll take that out. We're going to paste in the code that we just took out from the other one. As you can see, there it is. And I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to save that. And I'll tell you why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. If output return equals off, then off. So what this line of code will do is when I turn my main return pump off, say for a water change or for some type of maintenance or whatever the case may be, the second I flip the switch for that return pump to the off position so I could do whatever it is that I'm going to do, anything that has this line of code in, it will also shut that off. If I shut my main return off, this return that goes to another frag tank, it's going to shut that one off as well. I use this line of code for the power heads because, as you know, your tanks, the level of your water in your tanks will start to lower, and then your power heads start shooting water all over the place. So if you use this line of code, it'll shut your power heads down as well. I also use it on my heaters because, you know, I don't know what everybody else does, but I use a lot of times I use a siphon hose and I pull water from my sump when I'm doing water changes. And you know, if there was, I don't use heaters anymore. If you guys aren't aware of that, You can look back. I use hot water from my hot water tank, my gas hot water tank, to heat my system. The frag system still uses heaters, so that's why I'm using it on this. But back to what I was getting at, when you're siphoning water out of your sump, if you forget to turn your heaters off and you lower that water too much, we all know what's going to happen to the heaters. So it's just a good piece of redundancy. If you turn that return pump off, it's going to shut anything that has this line of code. It'll shut them off as well, and that's why I use it. So there we are. That return pump is done. So I'll go down to the return pump here and we'll shut that off. So here's a power head. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll open this up. I'll copy that. This is outlet number 3. And I'll show you on this one the same thing. So outlet number 3 is right here. So we'll just go in here. We'll paste that in. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay. I'm going to go back to the original outlet, which was the power head. And I have it on advanced. And as you can see, I have the same line of code. And this one here, because I do have power backups and stuff, it's a little different. So if I turn off my return pump, it's going to shut off the power head. If I lose like power to the apex unit itself, it's going to shut the power heads off. And then what I've done is I've deferred it for 5.5 minutes. And the reason that I deferred is I use this on the skimmer as well. If your sump is really, really high, and as soon as the pump comes on, if your skimmer turned on at the same time, there's a good chance your skimmer could start overflowing before that water level settles down to where it's supposed to be. So I defer it. So what happens is when I turn that return pump back on, it'll take 5.5 minutes before the skimmer will actually turn back on. So there's a bit of a delay there, so that way water levels can get back to where they're supposed to be. So I do the same thing with the power heads. As you know, your water level in your main tanks drop, so your power heads are there. If you were to turn your power heads back on immediately, you're still going to get that water spraying everywhere. So by deferring it for 5.5 minutes, your tank level has come back up to where it's supposed to be, and you don't make a mess all over the place with water spraying everywhere. So putting this defer in those situations, it's another awesome line of code. So write this down, guys, and keep it in your bank for down the road when you think of a situation where you might use it, because I use it for a ton of stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And I'm going to go back to the new outlet, which was right here. I'm going to open that up. And, this here doesn't really matter. I mean, you could put anything there. You could put it as a spigot again because it moves water. Regardless, I'm going to put this to advanced. And we're going to come down here. We're going to copy over all of this stuff here. And put in paste, and there we go. So that's the code that we just copied. We're putting it back over here, paste. And the reason that I keep the old EB8 on here and I copy and paste everything is because some of these things, like how it says return here. Now I've used return. You may not use return. You may have some funky code there, or some weird name, or some the pump itself, like what its name is. Regardless of what you have there, you saw in the other one that I had it named return 2. This is just return. If you rewrite this code out and you don't write it properly with exactly what you have that outlet named as, it's not going to work. So you're going to get an error code, and then, you can just go through a headache of trying to write these codes again when it's as simple as just copy and paste them over, and you don't have to deal with that. So that's the reason I do it this way. And, typing and everything for me is a lot more difficult now. So Whenever I can do it like this and just copy and paste and not have to type anything, it just makes my life a little bit easier, and that's the reason I do it this way. I know that there's other ways out there of doing it. I used to write the code, physically for each outlet myself. That's how all this got in here originally. But for the purpose of what I'm doing right now, swapping out these bars, it just didn't make sense for me to retype it all out, and that's why I'm doing it the way I am. So I showed you kind of a couple of the variables there that are a little bit different, but the rest of these are pretty straightforward. I don't have to worry too much about anything extravagant there, but there's a lot of stuff you can do with these power bars, guys, and once you learn them and learn what you're doing and how to do it, you can do pretty well anything you want with these things, and it's crazy the things that you can if you can think of it, you can probably somehow do it, somehow write the code, or figure out some way of doing it with these power bars. There's a lot of different things I've used in the past. I do have another Apex video where I show you guys pretty well the full setup of an Apex unit. If you guys ever have any questions about the Apex, I'm by no means do I consider myself even remotely close to being an expert with Apex. However, I do know my way around them a little bit, and I'll be glad to help any of you guys with any issues that you're having, if I possibly can. Yeah, guys, so I just wanted to run you through this. I want to keep the video fairly short. We're nearing Christmas here. It's only a couple days away. I had to get this done before Christmas. That's been waiting a few days for me to get at it. I'm getting back into doing these videos a little more often. Getting used to things here, starting to feel better about things. So we're going to keep chugging along, guys. The tanks are all doing well. I'm going to do a video coming up on making ceramic frag plugs. I got a video that I'm going to be doing coming up. We're going to revisit the Captivate aquaculture trace elements that I'm using. By the way, those are doing amazing. The tanks are doing amazing on them, and I couldn't be happier with them. So I'm going to update you guys on that stuff. Lots of stuff, lots of content that's going to be coming, and I'm going to start getting into these videos again and doing more of them for you guys. So for now, guys, that's it. I hope this video helped you guys a little bit. If you want to swap out an energy bar or you want to set one up, here's a little bit of how-to on doing that. And I want to wish everybody out there a very happy, safe, and joyous holiday season. Merry Christmas to all of you. And until the next time, make sure you take care and happy reefing.